Hey guys, here with Freddie Rojas. Freddie, very excited to get to talk to you. You've been a busy young man. You're back in action this Friday, September 15th. You're fighting in your adoptive home state of Texas, specifically in San Antonio. How good does it feel to be back in action so soon again?
It feels good, as a fighter, we want young fighters, prospect fighters, we want fights, that's to make ourselves known, to get that exposure. So for me, fighting again for the third time this year, it's a big thing, So I'm glad I'm already back in the ring. And like I tell people, I'm like a rooster, they just tell me, they just throw me in a fight and I'm gonna fight.
I love it. And you said it yourself. This is your third fight this year so far. What's the plan for this 2023? How often are you looking to fight?
I'll be fighting for I we were talking with Samson. But we believe that I might have another fight. Maybe if we're lucky, I can squeeze in two before the end of this year. But no, I'm just happy. I'm gonna probably get another fight after this. It'll probably be towards the end of it of the year. But the more fights, the better. Like I like to say.
Perfect. Now, obviously at 11 and 0, 11 KOs, I describe you as a knockout artist. For those who aren't too familiar with your style, because maybe they didn't catch you in the last time that you were televised. This time you will be
Mhm.
televised again. How would you put into words? How would you describe your style?
I would like to say my style is a boxing style. Hit and don't get hit, traditional, but there's times that I need a bang and I need to exchange, I'll be there in exchange. There's times where I put pressure and I'll put the pressure on. But I'll just say I'm a very surprising fighter. I mean, there'll probably be in some fights I'll be boxing, then boom, out of nowhere I'll be I'll be banging with the guy to give the guys the fans a show. So I'll just say I'm an all around fighter, but with a good excitement.
Do you feel your mother is of Mexican descent? Um,
Yes.
do you feel like you get that little Mexican style? It comes out, when it has to, it comes out.
Yeah, of course, of course. I feel like that's the when I'm banging in there and not giving up is specifically that Mexican heritage because that's what Mexicans are known for, to not giving up and giving every last drop that they have in that ring. So, yes, I do agree with that so much. When the Mexican blood needs to come out, the Mexican blood comes out in fights. So that heritage is there and it's gonna stay.
Absolutely. Now, are there any Mexican fighters that you either grew up or just now living in YouTube that you admire, that you look up to, that you try to mimic? Any Mexican fighters that influenced you?
Obviously, I mean, people are gonna probably say, "Oh, that's the same one as always," but I think Chavez, the El Papa, the dad. I think he's that dude's just the goat, man. That guy is. I like to say the pride of Mexico because when he fought, that he's like I say the prime example of not giving up in the ring, giving each last blood, sweat, and tear in a fight. And I also say Canelo for the more modernized now because when there's times that he needs to bang, he gives good knockouts. But he also boxes as well. As us fighters, we got to keep ourselves safe in there as well as giving a show for the fans.
Absolutely. Well, you named two um, elite fighters, distinctive eras, but of course, nonetheless, some of the top fighters, and that's something that you've been around. At only 11 and 0, you've been around top fighters. I know that you've sparred with Terence Crawford, with Boots Ennis. Talk to me about what um, what that's like. What do you take away from those sessions?
It gave me a big confidence booster. Because I used to doubt myself a lot and stuff, and like maybe I can't I won't I can't make it. These guys they're at a different level. But doing work with them and seeing how well I did with Bud and Boots, it's a big great feeling to have because it's like, wait a minute, I can survive. Why am I thinking so negative of myself, knowing that I can make it there with these guys? So it definitely gave me a big confidence booster, and it taught me that there's also levels in this sport. Uh, for example, Bud, he taught me that throughout the fight goes or the rounds that you go in, adjustments, you have to adjust every round, every second of the fight. If one thing's not working for you in the beginning, then you got to change it up and try to fix it throughout the next round. So that's something I learned a lot with Bud in the ring. And I think that's like I said, I think, but overall confidence was probably one of the biggest things that I received.
How complicated is Bud in the ring? How com-
Very, very. That guy, man, is like I said, his experience of just adjusting is just remarkable because there's like some things I'm like, oh, I got him. I can get him all night with that. And then like the next round will come and he's like, what the heck? It's just like it's not working for me no more. So then it's like a literally chess match game because we're both switching. So there's never a time when you're gonna physically think that you got the guy because he's always switching it up on you and he tremendously hits hard. So my respect to him as a fighter. You know, he's such a humble guy, outside and inside the ring, I think, but a tremendous fighter.
Right now, you mentioned his power. Obviously, like through his career, being undisputed previously at 140 and now again at 147, skills is no doubt. Obviously, he has those skills that boxing IQ. But we were wondering how his power was going to translate when he fought Errol Spence. Talk to me about what you felt in his power.
You know, I've always, when being on the team, I've always seen Bud all around and everything at Triple Threat in Colorado Springs. So I've always known he hits hard. And then when I sparred with him and got in there with him, I'm like, yeah, that was the cherry on top. So I've never really understood why people never always said, oh, he don't look like he hits hard and stuff like that. Like for the like, I don't know. Look at the look what he did with Spence. If that doesn't prove people that he doesn't hit hard, then I don't know because the dude has like bricks in his hands, even when sparring with 16 ounces, I can just imagine what it is with 8 ounces, but no, he's always hitting hard, and so that's something I never understood from people why they've always said that. But he's a great fighter. My gosh, one of my favorite fighters. If you can't tell, I'm so biased, but he is really good, dude.
So you see, they're talking about the rematch. Obviously, you think it'll be a deja vu again.
Yeah, I think so. They try to, a lot of people try to make excuses. I haven't heard Earl make an excuse. I mean, as a fighter, and you don't like to make excuses as a fighter, but a lot of people say, well, rehydration and this and this and this, you know. Bud also did call it. He said in one time in an interview, he said, "Watch, when I beat you, they're gonna say rehydration clause that you were too weak and this, or not too big for the weight class." And look, you know. Um, but no, I think it's going to be the same thing. I probably even worse. So I think Bud probably even finish it earlier. If not, he'll probably even do like a cold KO. You know what I mean? Because like again, I mean they're both familiarized and they both know what they've got to work on. But at the same time, this was even a bigger confidence booster for Bud. So I think it's going to be easier for him. He's just going to be having more fun and probably trying some new stuff in there with him as well.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But meanwhile, what we do know for sure is September 15th, your fight against Saul Bustos in San Antonio. Um, Freddie, thank you so much for your time. Wish you
Thank
best of
you.
luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.